Elon Musk made a Twitter algorithm open source and everyone is wondering how to use it to become a popular influencer. I've read a ton of text on GitHub and despite knowing almost all of this, it's weird. Really weird to see it black and white as evidence. Wanna hear the easiest way to become an influencer? Okay, here we go. First, the Twitter algorithm is robust and still one part of it has not been published. Twitter says they are still working on those parts, so they are not ready to be shown. That means that there are things that are still hidden and it's possible that they have an impact on the final selection of tweets that the algorithm chooses to show. But from what we know right now, here is how to become an influencer on Twitter. The first thing you need is for the algorithm to show your tweet to many people. You can't get anywhere if people don't see what you write. I'll tell you how Twitter chooses which tweet to show, then I'll tell you what you need to do to get your tweet selected by the algorithm, and finally I'll tell you what not to do. There are several parameters that are analyzed when the algorithm decides whether to show your tweet to viewers or not. One of the parameters is tweet cred, or user credibility, which is converted into a number between 0 and 100 based on the page rank. The page rank algorithm is used to determine the influence of Twitter users based on their interactions with other users. The graph is constructed by treating Twitter users as nodes and their interactions, mentions, retweets, etc. as edges. The page rank score of a user represents their influence in the network. The algorithm uses helper classes like reputation and user mass, but I won't go into details because it all adds up to a score for your page as the end result. The algorithm used to calculate the score takes into account the age of the user's account, safety status, whether you are restricted, suspended, or verified, and very important, number of followers and following. Page rank is higher if a user has more followers than following, and vice versa, page rank is lower if a user has more following than followers. Therefore, the algorithm first takes into account your score, that is your reputation in the network. In short, your page must not be brand new, you must be verified. Actually, that's a paid subscription, not verification. It's called Twitter Blue. You must pay that because from April 15th, as Elon said, all tweets from accounts that are not verified will not be shown in the For You tab. And as I mentioned, the ratio between followers and following must be high. That means you must not have more following than followers, and also you must not do follow for follow because that reduces the ratio. Now that you have a high reputation, don't worry, I'll tell you how to get it. The algorithm takes into account some other things to boost your tweet. It prioritizes engagement between users. The Twitter algo decides who to show your tweet to by predicting the likelihood of a user interacting with another user, in this case you. To simplify this complicated matter, you need to interact with other users and the influencers in your area of interest. If you are, for example, interested in finance, then you must have interactions with people from the same field. But the interactions that counts here is mutual. If you are the only one who leaves comments on the tweets of an influencer and they do not respond to you, do not like your tweets, it will not help you. If influencers in your field interact with you, it helps you improve your reputation. The more interactions you have, the more people the algorithm will initially show your tweet to. This section actually explains why Twitter offers you tweets that annoy you so much that you leave comments on them. Interaction. Every time you leave a comment on something you don't like, count on the algorithm to give you even more of that. The only way to save yourself from irritating people, provocative tweets, or general nonsense, manipulation, lies, etc., is to block or mute that account. Okay, this was a small digression on how to save your mental health, and now we're back on the topic how to become an influencer. So, the algorithm will show your tweet to people you interact with. However, these are people who are inside your network. That means people who follow you or who you follow. And whether your tweet will be shown to people who are outside your network will depend on how many likes, comments, and retweets that tweet has. If the tweet has a lot of engagement, the algorithm will show it to people who follow your followers. If the tweet continues to have a lot of engagement, then the algo will show it to even more people who are interested in the same area. Okay, now that you know what the algorithm is looking for, it's time to tell you how to fulfill the required conditions. There are two ways. One is normal and implies that your tweets are interesting. That means that you are really an expert in something and share your knowledge and experience for free. Or that you are naturally witty, that your tweets make people laugh and make them feel good, etc. Everyone loves that. But that way requires a lot of time to reach influencer status. The second way is much faster and very effective. Most of the influencers you can see every day in your timeline use it. As we've seen, you need a reputation. Reputation includes the ratio between followers and following. The first step is to buy bot followers. That's what most influencers do. You need tens of thousands of bot followers so that someone, humans, would want to interact with you, especially other influencers. They prefer to chat with big accounts because that interaction helps them too. However, buying bots as followers means nothing if you don't do everything else that is needed at the same time. Even worse, bot followers can do you a lot of damage because they don't engage with your tweets. For example, you have 50,000 followers and some of them were shown your tweet by the algorithm. Since bots don't do anything until you pay them, your tweet gets 0 engagements. That tells the algorithm that your tweet is boring and won't show it to anyone else. Since you currently have no human followers, you need to pay bots to like, retweet and comment on your tweets. But pay attention. But doing this doesn't mean anything to you if people don't like your tweets. Therefore, you have to solve that problem. I'll explain how in a moment. First, you need to understand why you are doing this. You are doing all this to give people the false impression that you are already popular. It's social proof that tells people they should start following you, interacting with you. That's how people react. They go where they think someone has checked the quality before them. They don't look at who your followers are. They don't know their bots. They simply think you are worth of their following, since a large number of they think people are already following you. But if your tweets are uninteresting, people won't engage with them. Therefore, there is one more step left for you to take in order to become a successful influencer. Listen, you know how it's no big deal that a dog beat a man. The big deal is that a man beat a dog. That's a tweet that would get a lot of engagement. Since there are no everyday attention-grabbing events like a man biting a dog, that means you can't become an expert-in-nothing influencer if you're honest. Yeah, most influencers are experts in nothing. So, the solution is lie, manipulate, make up tweets with the obligatory breaking at the beginning of the tweet. Once again, this is what most influencers do. Finally, what not to do. You should not have unconfirmed email and phone, you should not have default profile image, and you should not make toxic tweets. Toxicity includes marginal content like insults and certain types of harassment. Toxic content does not violate Twitter TOS, but will make your tweet dead. From all of this, you can see that the algorithm makes the biggest liars, scammers, manipulators come to the top of the social ladder. My name is V. Subscribe, like, share, tell your neighbors.